السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعين به ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. أما بعد، يقول الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه الكريم: يا أيها الذين آمنوا توبوا إلى الله توبة نصوحا. My dear respect brothers and sisters, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in his book that all you who believe, go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in forgiveness, in seeking complete forgiveness. Brothers and sisters, many of us want to go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and as we know, all of us, we commit sins. كل ابن آدم خطاء. All sons of Adam, we commit sins, and that's part of our nature. But the question here, brothers and sisters, is how can we go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And that's why our beautiful religion teaches us how to seek forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How can we purify ourselves from the sins that we are committing? And that's why our scholars have laid down to us a simple criteria for seeking forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or making tawbah. So they say if someone wanted to go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he has to follow three conditions. One, he had to feel regretful, meaning he feels sorry for what he have committed. He's not, after he commits a sin, he feels bad, he feels horrible, he knows he have committed a sin. And that's the very first condition, that I feel sorry, I feel bad for the sin I have committed. So that's condition number one. Condition number two is the person has to stop what he's doing. Let's say someone have committed a sin, he regrets what he have done, and he want to go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he stops committing that sin. Okay, so that's condition number two. And condition number three, that he promised himself that he's not going to go back into doing the same sin again. So for instance, if someone commits a sin and he said, well, I'm planning to do the same sin next week, that's not considered to be seeking forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So therefore, the individual have to do three things: regret what he's doing, stop what he's doing, and promise he would not go back into committing the same sin. So this is seeking forgiveness, a regular tawbah. Okay, regular tawbah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now there is a higher level of tawbah. Okay, and this is what we call in Islam tawbatan nasuha, a complete tawbah. Al-Imam al-Zur'i, one of the imam in Islam, he told us what are the description. What's the description of this complete tawbah? He said, التعميم في جميع الذنوب, that he would seek forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from all the sins he have committed. Okay, so let's say he would not, for instance, he said that, oh Allah, I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for all the sins I have done. He would not just pick and choose. I want to seek forgiveness from going out with girls, but I'm going to continue to drink. I'm going to continue to drink, but I'm going to seek forgiveness from drinking alcohol, but I'm going to still miss my prayer, and etc. But see, so nasuh you have to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from all the sins that you have committed, and that's why the tawbah al-nasuha, this complete tawbah, if someone did it, he is much higher in level in comparison to a regular tawbah. So what are the description of that tawbah? That you seek forgiveness from everything. Second thing is that you would bring all your strength. Okay, you bring all your strength and all your power, and you would not have any doubt. Okay, that you want to do it. So the very first thing, you seek forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from all the sins. Okay, and you would collect yourself and collect your powers, that you are truthful in doing so. Okay, and you are not skeptical. You want to do this. إجماع العزم والصدق, that you would bring your power all together, that you want to seek forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the third thing, تخليصها من الشوائب. He said that you would purify your tawbah from anything that is impure. What does that mean? For instance, it's completely for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You're completely sincere for that you're doing this tawbah for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What does that mean, brothers and sisters? It means that some people, for instance, they might make tawbah, but for a secondary motive, or because of the fact that maybe because of position, maybe because of he wanted to protect his honor or his wealth, or because people he wants to be praised by the people, or because he wants to be he want to look a better individual, and we've seen that sometimes. For instance, people say, for instance, some people have claim that they have seek forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from not selling the haram, you know and why did this happen? Because they were offered a better job. So meaning that he did not seek tawbah, he just had a better offer, you see. So he's doing it for a secondary motive, more money, more fame, more praise, and etc. So the conditions of a tawbah nasuha: one, like I said, it has to be a complete. Second, you have to be truthful and collect all your powers to do it. And third, it have to be doesn't have any impurities. It's completely for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's why this kind of tawbah, brothers and sisters, if someone does it, he is a much higher level in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's why we call it complete tawbah, because it is indeed a complete. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would multiply your reward. Now, this tawbah have conditions. We talked about the description of that tawbah. So what are the conditions for that tawbah? The very first thing, like I said, is part of the conditions is that have to be a complete tawbah. So the very first condition, like we said, it have to be a complete, and that's why it's complete tawbah. Many people, brothers and sisters, when we talk about seeking forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they think it's either someone who is doing a kabira, a big sin, or he's persistent in doing a small sin. It's not necessarily that, brothers and sisters. Even the righteous people have to make tawbah. Even the righteous people have to make tawbah. For instance, you would make tawbah for because you have ghafla, because you are, sometime your heart are swayed from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You seek tawbah because you are not thanking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enough for the bounties that He have given you. You seek tawbah because you don't love for your brother what you love for yourself, or because you love things more than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You seek tawbah because you are not perfecting a kind of worship that you are doing. You seek tawbah because you are not you are wasting your time. You seek tawbah because you are you're dedicating more things toward not toward Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You seek in tawbah because you have shortcoming in the da'wah toward Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You seek tawbah because you are not giving triumph to the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You're seeking tawbah because you have so much, sometimes your hawa, your desires will overtake you. Sometimes you have to seek tawbah from seeking tawbah, because your tawbah is not perfect. So you seek tawbah from your imperfect tawbah that you are doing. So you see? So brothers and sisters, don't think that if someone have to make tawbah, it's only have to be the sinners. No. The sinners have to do tawbah, and even the righteous people have to make tawbah. And that's why Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, brothers and sisters, have taught us that to make this dua while we are making sujood. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Allahumma ighfir li dhanbi kulla diqqahu wa jillahu wa awwalahu wa akhirahu wa alaniyatahu wa sirrahu." Oh Allah, forgive my sins, all of it. It's small and it's big. It's first and it's last. What people know and what people don't know. Allahu Akbar. You see? So that's why, as brothers and sisters, that it's important for us to seek forgiveness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in all forms and all the time. The second condition, brothers and sisters, that in order for us second condition for this complete tawbah, that you would not delay it, and you would do it immediately. Okay? And the third condition, that you belittle your tawbah. And as some of the Imam says, ittiham tawbah, that you would make your tawbah guilty, meaning that you are afraid that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not accept your tawbah. You're afraid that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala might have not, might have rejected you. That you're afraid that you have done some shortcoming in your tawbah. And that's when you have that feeling, it pushes you to do more and more and more, and you become more persistent in trying to perfect your tawbah. Not because wallahi I have done it, khalas, I'm done, and you turn your back, and you think that you have perfected this whole world. No, when someone knock on the door of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he continue to knock. He continued. Not he doesn't knock once or twice and he says, "Khalas, he did not open to me," and then he leaves. No, you knock once and twice and thrice, and then you continue to knock until Allah Subhanahu wa Taala would open His door to you. So there are other things, brothers and sisters, that we have to. So these are the three conditions for the complete or a tawbah nasuha. Now let's talk about some of the things that someone have to do in order for his tawbah to be perfect. Okay, as some of the scholars have said, التكرار يعلم الأبرار. يعني when someone does it tawbah a lot of times and he repeats it in doing tawbah, it teaches the good people how to be better in doing tawbah. That's why, brothers and sisters, just because you lost a battle once, that does not mean it's the end of the world. Because sometimes falling, it teaches you how to get up and stand up and try to attempt this tawbah again. No, brothers and sisters, that when you repeatedly do this in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala might multiply for you the reward, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala might accept you more. And this would give you the strength against your shaitan, because he made you fall once, but he might not make you fall another time. And that's why, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he described the believer and he said, لا يلدغ المؤمن من حجر مرتين, that a true believer, he does not fall or he does not get bitten from the same hole or from the same snake twice, because he learned from his mistake. Like for instance, if someone knows that if he's alone he might commit a sin, that he avoids being alone. If someone knows, that when he is free, or he does not have he have a lot of free time, make him fall into certain sins, he always make himself busy. If someone knows that every time he is hanging with the wrong crowd of people, he would commit sins, he would stop befriending these people. When someone knows that he commits a sin, if he went to this place, he would stop going to that place. If someone knows that, if I am around, or I am in this environment, he stopped going to this environment. And that's why, brothers and sisters, one of the signs that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have accepted from you the tawbah, that you would notice yourself not doing the things that is going to lead you to committing the sin. And that's beauty in itself, brothers and sisters. You have to understand, my dear respected brother and my dear respected sister, that a tawbah is not beating up yourself. Tawbah, it is not beating up yourself. Because when you do that, in Islam, wasting time is bad. What you're doing, you are just regretting what you have done in the past. And by doing so, you are continue to waste time in thinking about the past. But real tawbah, brothers and sisters, is not just beating up yourself, is learning from your mistakes, learning from your past, and taking that of how to be a better individual going forward. They say the people who learned from him being sick, is the one who remember what led him to be sick. And now he does not become sick anymore. He knows that if I did this, or if I am around this people, I might get infected. So that's why he makes sure that his immunity is strong. He makes sure that he does not put himself in a situation he'll become sick, and he would learn from his mistake. And that's why he become a better individual in not falling into the traps of the shaitan. And that's why some of the things that a righteous believer would do, what would he do? He would also count himself. You know, I'm counting myself. You know, why did I do this? Why did not do that? And etc. You know, so that's some of the things that we need to think about, brothers and sisters. Also, some of the things that we need to do when we are doing tawbah is that we need to make tawbah quickly. We go forward into doing tawbah. Now we don't delay the tawbah. You know, um, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described some groups of people, فَطَالَ عَلَيْهِمُ الْأَمَدُ فَقَسَتْ قُلُوبُهُم. They delayed the tawbah, and what happened? Their hearts become hardened. You know, when you delay a tawbah, brother, when you delay a tawbah, sister, what happened? You are um, the sins in front of you become more and more and more. Because if you let's say you commit sin and you did not seek forgiveness from that sin is going to bring another one. It's become two, and the two become three, and the three would become four. But when you commit a sin and you immediately go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it erased, you know. والذين إذا فعلوا فاحشة أو ظلموا أنفسهم ذكروا الله فاستغفروا لذنوبهم. The signs of a true believer, as soon as he commit a sin, he immediately go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if you delay it, the sins become more and they become bigger, and your heart becomes chained with all these desires, you know. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَجَعَلْنَا مِن بَيْنِ أَيْدِيهِمْ سَدًّا وَمِنْ خَلْفِهِمْ سَدًّا فَأَغْشَيْنَاهُمْ فَهُمْ لَا يُبْصِرُونَ. And we have made a wall in front of them and a wall behind them, and to the point that they become blind, and they could not see. And that's why, brothers and sisters, when you delay a tawbah, this tawbah become bigger and become harder for you. And sometimes, brothers and sisters, you have to understand that when you delay a tawbah, you forget the sin that you have committed. You forget the sin that you have committed. And the more sins that you forget, the easier for you to commit that sin over and over, or something bigger than that. And that's why, brothers and sisters, that it's important that as soon as you commit a sin, that you go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then you would seek forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because delaying the tawbah is another sin. So sometimes when someone commit a sin and he go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala immediately, khalas, the sin is erased. But when someone commit a sin and he delayed it, so that's another sin. Because the sin itself, you get sent for the sin itself, and you get sent for what? Delaying that tawbah, you know. And this is important. Yani, subhanallah, imagine, brothers and sisters, imagine this, that for someone or for an individual to delay the tawbah is like someone have a cloth or have a thobe, okay, or a shirt that started um, you started taking it apart by one string, you know. Imagine, you know, how could you untie a cloth? By start with a string. You pull a string, and then the rest of the cloth would go away. That's what happened. It's like you giving that starting string to the shaitan, and the shaitan keep pulling it to the point that you lost all your clothes, and you become completely naked without anything. And that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described the believer, and he said, وَلِبَاسُ التَّقْوَى ذَلِكَ خَيْرٌ. The cloth of taqwa, it is the best of the cloth, because it protects you. Taqwa, fearing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, putting a barrier between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is taqwa. It's like a cloth. It protects you. But when you don't seek tawbah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and delay it, is like you are undoing that cloth, and you're destroying it little by little. And that's something that we need to think about, brothers and sisters. The last thing that I'm going to talk about, brothers and sisters, is that, or the one before the last, is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to reward you based on how much is difficult for you. For instance, all of us know about Al-Ghamidiyya, the woman who have sought forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at the time of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because she have committed adultery. Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have given this woman, and that's why do we even remember this woman? Why? Because this woman have, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have accepted her, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have rewarded her so much for the forgiveness that she have done. What this woman have done? She committed a sin. She committed adultery. She came back. She went back to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and said, "Oh Prophet of Allah, purify me." Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "You're pregnant. We will. After you give birth." So the woman came back after she gave birth. "Oh Prophet of Allah, you purify me." He said, "After you breastfed your baby." And after she breastfed her baby, she came back to Prophet Muhammad. "Oh Prophet Muhammad, purify me." And then Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, at that time, he wanted he wanted to establish the ruling on her, you know, the ruling of a woman, married woman committing an adultery. So what after they have implemented the ruling, what did Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam say about this woman? See, she was persistent. She felt that she needed to purify herself. Continue going back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Oh Prophet, purify me." And because it's difficult. Brother, imagine a woman, she's pregnant, and after she went through the hardship of pregnancy, she did not stop. She continued. She wanted to go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And even with that, she gave birth and she loves her baby. She loves her baby. But even with that, she wanted to purify herself. And she left her baby so she could purify herself between the hands of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And that's why Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what he said, لقد تابت توبة لو قسمت بين 70 من أهل المدينة لو وسعتهم وهل وجدت التوبة أفضل من أن جادت بنفسها إلى الله. He said, this woman, her tawbah, her forgiveness, wallahi, if it was divided between 70 people of the people who used to live in Medina, it would be enough for them. Brothers, I want you to imagine, brothers, sisters, imagine this. Her tawbah was enough for more than 70 people of the Sahaba. What about us? How many people from us where her tawbah would be enough for us? How many people? Her tawbah was enough for 70 of the Sahaba of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What about us? Why? Why this? Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Why Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said so? Because her tawbah was difficult. She went against her desire, and she sacrificed herself with the worst type of punishment, to the point that she passed away. And even when she died, it bothered some of the Sahaba. Their blood came into some of the clothes of Sahabas, Khalid bin Walid. So what Prophet Muhammad told Khalid bin Walid, "Mahlan ya Khalid, لا تسبها فوالذي نفسي بيده لقد تابت توبة لو تابها صاحب المكس لغفر له." Oh Khalid, don't say anything about her. Wallahi, this one have made tawbah. It would be if someone who collected taxes, it'll be more than the money you have collected. SubhanAllah. Her tawbah is it's enclosed with so much. So brothers and sisters, understand that the more difficult for you to seek forgiveness, the more reward that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to give you. Imagine this, brothers and sisters. Imagine if someone in our times, he has seek forgiveness after eating so many haram money. He worked haram for many years, and now all of a sudden he wants to stop that, and he wants to what? He wants to seek forgiveness from all of the haram money that he have collected. That's difficult. Imagine, brothers and sisters, someone in our times, he lives in a sinful family, and he is the only one who is righteous. Look at how much struggle he had to go through. He have to give them da'wah. He have to be patient. He have to respect his mom and dad and be gentle with them. And even though they might look down on him, he have to be patient. That's a difficult, that's a difficult thing, and that's a difficult tawbah. Imagine, brothers and sisters, of someone who spent all of his young years, all his youth, following his own desires, and all of a sudden he wanted to stop. That's a difficult tawbah. Why all these examples, brothers and sisters, are difficult? Because you are swimming against the waves. You are just like someone is swimming not with the waves of the sea. If someone is swimming against the waves of the sea, because this is requires so much struggle and so much work, brothers and sisters. And that's the last thing I'm going to say. Do not be despaired, no matter how much sins that you have fallen into. Even if you commit a sin and you fall, get up and try again. No matter, don't يعني ولا تقنطوا من روح الله. Don't despair from the spirit of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. إنه لا يقنط من روح الله إلا القوم الكافرون. Only disbelievers would be despaired from the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Imagine, brothers and sisters, imagine someone fighting Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Then he became Muslim. Then he made ridda. He left Islam. Then he killed, some of the Sahaba, and then after that he made Tawbah. Imagine. Yes, there is someone who did this. And not only that, he claimed to be a prophet. He claimed to be a prophet. And then after that, he seek forgiveness. Yes, I'm going to tell you of a story of a man. His name is Talha bin Khuwaylid al-Asadi. Talha bin Khuwaylid al-Asadi. What is the story of this man? What is the story of this man? That shows us never be despair, no matter how big is your sin. Even if you fought Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, even if you made ridda, even if you killed people, killed at the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, even if you claim to be a prophet, he still was persistent into going back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with all the sins. So what this man did? So this man initially, what he did, he fought against Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the time of Al-Khandaq. In this battle of Al-Khandaq, he fought against Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Then after that, years after that, he became a Muslim. At the time of Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anhu, he made ridda. He left Islam. And not only that, he claimed to be a prophet. He claimed to be a prophet. So what Abu Bakr Siddiq have done, he sent him two people. His name, two people. One his name is Ukasha, and the other one's name is Khalid. He sent them two people to talk to him. What he did, he killed them both. And at the time of the Umar Khattab radiallahu anhu, at the time of Umar Khattab, he became a Muslim again. So when he came to Umar radiallahu anhu, what Umar Khattab have told him, he told him, أغرب عني, leave, I don't want to see you. فأنت قاتل الرجلين الصالحين. You killed two righteous people. What did Talha said? Talha ibn Ukasha al-Asadi. He said, what he said? He said, هما رجلان أكرمهم الله على يدي ولم أهنأ بأيديهما. He said, yes, I killed these two people, but wallahi, I did not felt calm down afterward. Meaning his stuff, his fire. There is fire inside of him that is boiling. It's boiling because of the wrong that he have done. So Umar Khattab, he liked what he said, and he told him, and he brought him close, but he did not give him any positions because of his history. So what after that Talha have done? He have fought with the Muslims in Ma'arak al-Yarmouk. He fought with the Muslims in Ma'arak al-Qadisiyah, and then he fought with he fought with the Muslims until he died in one of the battles. SubhanAllah. He became a shaheed. He became a martyr. So, brothers and sisters, this story tells us that it's never too late to go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's never too late for you to say, I'm going to do this. Don't delay it. Today, not tomorrow, today. Be honest with yourself and make a plan that you want to go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You have to be honest with yourself. Wallahi, you might sleep and might not wake up, and no one knows if we're gonna wake up tomorrow. And that's why, brothers and sisters, Muslim always have to be accounting himself and always want to go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's the things that we always need to do. I hope that we covered many things, inshallah. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept from all of us and make us a better believers بإذن الله تعالى. جزاكم الله خير. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.